I got.
We leave,
You guys want to turn your microphones on?
We're on 66 months.
Real good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like 7 o'clock from this angle. I'd like to call the Inland Wetlands Watercourse Commission dated June 18th, 2025 at 7 p.m. to order. Roll call: Stephen Molinelli, Chair, present. Russ Davenport, Vice Chair, absent. We have a vacant for a secretary, but it's a vacancy on the board. Jeff Lippincott.
Present.
Frank Oliveri.
present.
Gary Paganelli.
Present.
Jamie Colligan.
Present.
We have another vacancy, and Matt Clausen.
Present.
Okay, so just to clear up the confusion, we have two full vacancies on the board. So anybody present or in the audience on television or wherever is interested, please talk to the town manager, and let's try to fill this board if we possibly can. All right, in terms of the agenda, the approval of minutes for March 19th. Is there a motion on these minutes rather? All right, these minutes just came to us tonight, so I'd like to table it and hold on to them because I didn't have a chance to really review them. All right, the next item on the agenda for the minutes is from May 15th, 2020. Is there a motion for those minutes? They were in our packet.
I'll make a motion to accept them.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of approval? That's unanimous. Jeff, agenda review?
Just a few items for you tonight, Mr. Chairman. You'll notice Jeremy is not with us tonight. However, he is going to produce the minutes via the recordings after the fact. So thank you for reminding everyone to turn on the microphones. That'll be helpful. We do have a few items to add under a new section of your agenda, agent actions under B, as of right determinations. You currently have A, B, and C listed. I would like to add D, which is 628 East Wakefield, and I'll discuss these further when we get to the point. And then under, we'd add a new...
What was the address on that one?
628 East Wakefield.
Okay, thank you.
And we didn't have any warnings listed, so I guess I'll add letter E under agent actions for warnings concerning 240 Kingsbury, and I'll discuss that when we get further into the agenda as well. And lastly, an additional communication similar to the one that is on your agenda. We also have a copy of an application for use of pesticides in state waters for Winchester Lake, done by the Pond and Lake Connection. And I have those communications here, and I'll pass them out when we get to that point.
Okay, thank you. Anything else under agenda review? Next item on the agenda, we have no public hearings. Under old business, application IWWC 25-6, the applicant is Stu Jones. The location is 201 East Lake Street, and the proposal is to rebuild 6 foot of existing lakefoot wall and add 8 foot steps at the present waterfront extending into the property, the lot. You want to come forward? Thank you. Just introduce both of yourselves.
Karen Jones.
Jones.
Thank you.
The last time we were here, there's a lot of confusion over 10 foot. The 10 foot turned out to be something John DeCaro did. When he surveyed the property, he felt that putting a pin right at the edge of the lake in the gravel with the water washing on it was not a good idea. So instead of putting it where it belonged, he moved it 10 foot into the property to a more secure location. Now this caused a lot of confusion. I couldn't figure out what the hell you're talking about last time around, but that's what that's all about. So the property really does come out to the lakefront like you would think it would. And just one more bit of information. The storm sewer there does not have an easement. A lot of people wondered about this. There is no easement there. It just got put there a while ago.
brought a full,
We saw that.
oh,
Yeah,
okay,
we saw that.
okay.
But thank you for bringing it anyway. I think John helped clarify it
Yes, he
for
did.
us.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Are there any comments from anybody on the board regarding this particular application?
I
So-
think with that clarification, I'm more than comfortable myself.
Yes.
Everybody is good?
Yes.
I'd like to thank Jeff and Jeremy for providing some insight into that issue. Gary, I know, was overly concerned about it. I was concerned about it. I think we're comfortable with the explanation and the recommendation that the town people provided to us. Jeff, question. With the explanation that's provided in the staff notes, do we want to read that rationale into the acceptance of this application so that should another application come before us with a similar concern, that we can refer to it and, or not refer to it?
Yeah, that's a good idea. We had lots of discussions about this, and the important part here is for the commission to be consistent. So going forward, if we have a similar circumstance, we need to treat it the same way. That'll cover us, but if you want to read that into the motion, that'll be an extra protection.
Well, I think being consistent is important. I think looking at each application on its merits
Oh, of
is
course.
equally important.
Yes.
So I don't want to negate that.
Yeah, it
in the
wouldn't be an
conversation.
automatic thing. You
Right,
need-
okay, good.
Everything needs to be taken under advisement.
All right, so then, on page 2 of the staff notes, on the very top of the page is a whole paragraph that talks about the recommendation of the staff. Do we want to read that when we make the motion, or can we just refer to it and it would be part and included in the motion?
You might as well read
Read
it
it in?
as part of the motion, just to have it
Okay,
clarified.
so who's going to make the motion and read that aspect of it in? It looks like Jeff is.
Let me find it first.
I found it for you, here, right here. Go ahead, Matt.
Frank's volunteering. He's already got it in front of him.
All right, so make a motion for approval.
Make a motion for approval for IWWC 25-6, 201 East Lake Street. In the recommendation, staff suggests that the commission could consider the wall extension of a head wall to protect the existing drainage pipe. With regard to the proposed steps, they will be tapered back and could be considered as a shoreline stabilization technique to prevent further erosion, while allowing the water to continue to encroach beyond the line of the wall. The gap in the two walls results in excessive lateral energy, which will continue to cause erosion without intervention.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second on this
Second.
motion? Gary, all those in favor of approval and it becomes unanimous?
Yeah.
Thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, bye-bye. Have a good week.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Next item on the agenda is IWWC 25-8. The applicant is Robert Manicoccio, and it's 59 East Lake Street. Before we get into the proposal, there's a request by the applicant to continue to next month's meeting?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So we'll just table this and continue it to next month's meeting. Is there anything new submitted? I know last month there was a teleconference or television presentation.
Nothing submitted yet. There has been some communication between
Because I didn't
staff
see
and
anything
the
in my
applicant, but
packet.
nothing ready for
Okay,
prime
so
time.
then. Okay. Next order of business is new business application IWWC 25-12. The applicant is Ken Hawkins, 406 East Wakefield Boulevard. And the proposal is to prepare approximately 20 feet of stone seawall and repoint the remainder of the wall as necessary. Have a seat and just introduce yourself, please.
I'm actually Matt Hawkins. My father is Ken Hawkins. I'm just representing the company that's working on the project.
Okay?
So, yeah, we're just rebuilding. I have some, I don't know if he sent you guys photographs. I have photographs here.
You want to look at our packet?
No, I just have a couple of photographs to clarify a couple of things. The wall basically just is leaning out. All we're really doing is taking it down on the lake drawdown, reusing exactly what's there and rebuilding. They're just afraid that the wall's just gonna collapse into the water and then they'll lose all their entire seawall. I do have the questions. The two site plans, one of the site plan was done in 2015 that this board approved back in 2015. That's already in existing and done. So I know it sounds like there was some confusion there. There's all these questions. Please include the rebuild area. I'm pretty sure he circled it on one of these plans.
Let me give you a hint as to how we're going to proceed. Okay? The more information you provide us tonight, the more likely is we can make a decision next month. If there are gaps in the information that you can't provide and respond to questions, then all we're going to do is keep moving the approval or the denial back in months. So try to be as complete as you can.
I'm just reading the questions I'm just going off these questions.
Who gave you those questions?
Those are provided by staff.
By staff.
He's right, there were two site plans, quote unquote. One was informational of past work, so that I think has been answered. We're all set with that.
Okay.
If you could answer if the wall that's gonna be replaced is 15 feet worth or 20 feet worth, that was one of the questions.
It's between 15 and 20 feet. It depends, it's hard to make a determination until we get in the water.
Mhm.
I looked at it this past winter when the lake froze over. Some of that was below water still because of the rise in the lake. I can't really make a judgment call on if the wall needs to be rebuilt there or not, depending on, until I get into it.
So you won't know until there's a deep drawdown.
Exactly. We're just rebuilding it as needed. It's not, I'm not looking to take the whole thing down. We're trying to save as much of it as we can.
How do you plan on attacking what needs to be addressed?
Oh, it's all just, everything's all done by hand. I mean, I'm just gonna chisel it apart, pull it down, rebuild it, repoint it.
So you're not planning on any machinery in the lake bed?
No machinery at all, nothing at all. It's all handwork.
Is there stone behind it?
Yeah, that's the only thing we'll import some 3/4 inch stone to,
Or put some weep holes or something in
yes,
the wall?
yeah. Yeah, we can definitely, we should probably do that so when water comes over it.
Yeah.
Is that described in the packet you gave us? Because you're very, sketchy in terms of the process.
And that would be part of the second question, to include construction detail?
Of the rebuilt wall, it's
Yeah.
kind of, we're just gonna go off the seafloor, like, we're gonna go off the existing seafloor. I can't really do a footing on that. I mean,
Okay, so
as
that's
I
the
don't
third
think,
question.
I don't
Yep.
think a footing would do anything. It's just gonna end up pushing.
I think what they're saying is, you take your wall, you wanna have an end view of it. Show the stone, and show what you're putting behind it. Put Marafi paper behind it.
He does have a cross-section. I do have I don't know if you guys have, it's small.
A full-size map would really help, because I can't see a thing on
What
this.
is it, this detailed drawing?
Yeah, this is supposed to be the engineered drawing. If we could have it full-size, it would simplify a lot of things.
because
If you don't mind me asking, can I see one of them? Let me just,
yeah, that's what we have right there.
I'm looking at the same thing right now.
Yeah, I mean, a full-size drawing would really simplify this, because we can't, I mean,
If I can print out a full-size drawing for you guys,
Just so you know, it's not that we're gonna struggle to do it. You have to make it easier for us to be able to accommodate what you wanna do. If we don't understand it or we can't visualize it, you're gonna get nowhere, you know,
yeah,
so,
yes, I understand.
you know. And there's one of the.
I mean, I do have, he did give me a picture.
I saw that, but that's, yeah,
It's not a great quality picture, but you can tell the wall is
yeah.
pushing.
We understand there's a need.
Yes,
We wanna know how you're going to address fulfilling the need. That's where we're coming from. And I guess I saw staff, one of the comments was an A2 survey also, an engineered survey.
Well, the question of the site plan, it was an original DeCara survey, but it had been drawn on top of for the last site plan. But the real question there is if the location of the existing wall has been certified. So if you still have access to the original survey, which was not marked up, include that as well.
okay. I am almost positive that that was not, nothing was done to that. I have no idea where that is. I'll have to find that
Okay.
for him.
In your cross-section that you have here,
Yes.
this is where Steve's coming up. The information as far as the stone behind the wall does not show. Shows no stone, no 3/4 inch stone, no Marafi cloth, shows nothing behind the wall. Show the stone behind it, and show the width of stone that you want to put in. That gives us an idea of how much material is coming out from behind the wall.
We're really not taking material, I'm not taking any
In
material
order to put the
out.
stone wall back and put stone behind it,
It's actually, if you guys actually look at, there's really not much behind the wall right now. I could see.
where it's leaning.
Yes,
But when you bring it back, the space goes away.
I can bring it
So
back.
if you're gonna bring it back vertical, or lean it in a little bit, which you should, you're gonna take a foot of dirt out of the back of the wall to put stone in. But you wanna show the Marafi cloth going up the dirt, the back side, so that those fines don't go down into the stone and out into the lake. That's my only
Okay.
comment on it. Just a better cross-section. Okay?
Matt, anything?
Simple.
No, I think staff, as long as you've got the staff comments, they've addressed a lot of things here. And I think they asked for the construction detail, and then obviously a full-size set of drawings would really be able to narrow down exactly where you're working.
Jamie, anything? Jeff?
No,
All right, my suggestion is we're going to accept your application tonight, and you're gonna have to fill in all of the questions that staff has raised and we've raised. And if there's any confusion between now and the next month before you come back, spend some time with Jeff in the office and eliminate the confusion so that you know exactly what you need to do on paper for us to move ahead with your application,
Okay,
all right?
That sounds
Do you have any questions of us?
no,
do you
Jeff?
have a copy of the staff comments? You probably don't. That kind of spells out 1 to 7 what we're looking for. Can't see that.
Yeah.
That's the list of, there you go.
yeah, I have a list here.
Okay, that'll do it.
Okay,
Okay, all those, go ahead, I'm sorry, Matt.
I was gonna say, I believe if you need a copy of the original survey too, probably talk to Jeff and you can get him in
You
touch
can
with.
check if it's on the
Well,
land
if not,
records.
you could get him in touch with John DeCara or Tim
Oh, yeah.
Wiley, because they're on file over there right next door, so.
yeah, we can either email, so I'm assuming I email it to you, we can email it to
Yep.
you? Okay, we'll email you a full survey and,
Just so you know, one thing you have in your favor is you can't do anything until a deep drawdown,
yes, I know
which
that.
is gonna occur October 1st. So
Well, we wouldn't even,
you're not gonna attempt it. What I'm saying
Yeah,
is,
we're not gonna attempt
just
it.
be sure when you come back the next time that you crossed your Ts and dotted your Is so that we can move ahead with the decision rather than you go back again for another month. So spend time with Jeff if you need to, and try to address the concerns between the staff notes and what we have. And we should be able to go next month if you're on board with doing what you need to do.
Yes. I need to get it. You want a survey, you want a construction document, I understand that.
Okay? Do we have a motion to accept?
Motion to accept IWWC 25-12. Applicant Ken Hawkins, location 406A East Wakefield Boulevard, repair approximately 20 feet of stone seawall, repoint remainder of wall as necessary.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Jeff? Before we continue, do we need a public hearing?
No.
No? Does the wall repair have to be engineered?
No.
Okay? All those are in favor of accepting? Unanimous? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. We'll see you next month. Next month, I think the meeting is gonna be on Thursday, right?
Yeah, we're on Wednesday tonight because of the Juneteenth holiday.
Okay, so
It's on Thursday.
it'll be the
I'm
third
sure
Thursday,
this-
whatever it is,
He's gonna receive an email.
Yeah,
okay?
we'll talk about that.
Okay,
This way there's no confusion.
all right.
All right, have a good night.
You too.
The next application is WWC 25-13. The applicant is James Brandolini at 272 Perch Rock Trail, and the proposal is to extend dock and add inflatable swim platform.
Good evening,
Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Brandolini.
Mr. Molinelli. How are you, sir?
Well, thank you. Hey, thank you.
Yeah, we'd like to put a swim platform out there. Pretty simple. We're going to extend our dock, which you've got the survey there that Tim Wiley wrote up. It shows the square footage of the existing dock and what we want to add. Just want to go out about 8 feet, 6 feet wide. To just take the Trex up, put two, the I-beams are pretty bad underneath there. I don't know how old they are, but I had to do some, I took a look at it, and they need to be replaced anyway. So lift up the old rusted up I-beams, put two new ones in. We don't need to pour any concrete because it's already there. There's a big concrete pillar. So we just got to put two new I-beams in, and
The I-beams, how were the I-beams secured?
how are they secured? They go back into the wall by the shore.
So it's like a cantilevered I-beam?
Yeah, because you've got a big cement pillar in the lake that was, God knows.
It's gonna rest on that.
They rest on that, yeah, that's what exists. The I-beams look like they're pretty bad anyway. I'd like to extend it. When we have a dry summer, it's hard to get on and off my boat lift. It's kind of shallow over there, so I'd just like to go out to the maximum of 40 feet that's allowed. Yeah, do it.
And what's the position of the swim float?
It's about, 14 feet from shore, just off the dock. Yeah.
That's freestanding or free floating?
Yeah,
And how is it gonna be secured? To the-
with a chain,
Chain?
an anchor.
You're not gonna attach any boats to it or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
I don't like people coming by, Steve, so, no. No, there's no.
Well, only because of the swing
No, I
level.
understand, no, there's no.
And it goes out more than 40
No,
feet,
no.
okay.
Yeah, they're only 14,
What's that?
they're not being that far out.
Yeah, I know. Any questions, anybody?
And there is one other
It's all
thing, I don't know,
pretty laid out
can
here.
you have to bring that up at this point?
Which part?
With the agent determination thing, or is that like a done deal, the fence?
Oh, no,
Okay, so that's not part of our.
No.
Okay.
Not perfect.
And the only thing that I want to bring to your attention is that the people from town are indicated that the docks are required to be fitted with reflectors at the end.
Yeah, we got an email regarding that.
Told us
Yeah,
that.
we have lights, I mean.
Again, I just want to be sure
Yeah,
that
there
when,
currently is 4 lights on the dock, that, just little solar lights that pop
Yeah.
on at night.
Okay, and it said something about a reflector on the swim
And
platform
we do not,
as well.
and we also have to put a number on the dock, I guess?
address, address.
Yeah, all right, we'll have to get that, because we don't.
Those are those blue signs
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
no one has.
Yeah, correct.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll take care of that, but there are lights on it now.
Okay, Jeff, anything?
No, pretty straightforward application.
Anybody on the commission, anything? All right, do we have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept IWWC 2513, James Brandolini, 272 Birch Rock, to extend the dock and add an inflatable swim platform.
Second, Gary. No public hearing?
Yep.
All those in favor of accepting? All right, unanimous. See you guys next month.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night. Next application is IWWC 25-14. The applicant is George Finlayson, and the address is 162 East Wakefield Boulevard, and it's a modification to the existing permit to enlarge existing dock. Just for the commission's knowledge, this application, if we're satisfied, can be approved tonight because it's a modification.
Correct.
Correct. Okay, so keep that in mind. You want to have a seat and just introduce yourself?
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is George Finlayson, and I was here last year, and I thank you for approving my permit then. Basically, John DeCara did a large drawing at the time, and I ended up having approved a 10-foot boat lift and a 4-foot by 40-foot dock. And when we got home, it was all put in. We liked the dock, but we also missed having that little 8x10 piece at the end. So this application is to add a 4 by 10-foot section to the end so that it would still extend 40 feet, but there would be, instead of a 4 by 10, there would be an 8 by 10 section. Jeff has agreed that he did a modification to the drawings, to the smaller drawing right now to depict what I'm trying to do. So I have a 45-foot waterfront, I have a 10-foot boat lift, I have a 4-foot dock, and I'm proposing to add another 4 feet to it. So that totals 18 feet on a 45-foot waterfront. It's not gonna go out more than 40 feet, and it doesn't impact on any littoral line. So that's what I'm asking as part of this application.
And you took your neighbor's jet ski lift away?
Yes, we did. I'm glad you heard it, actually. You remember that, huh?
I'd just like to make a comment. John DeCara was in the audience, I think, last time.
Yes.
And he brought up the fact that this was not used by the cove method. So therefore, he didn't have to worry about any cove method littoral borders. And that was DeCara's determination at that point.
Okay, anybody with any kind of questions that we want to ask at this point? Everybody is silent, and the only question I then have is, do we want to accept this modification or approve this modification? I have no problem recommending approval.
Yeah, I mean, it's laid out here.
Yeah, it's all laid out.
Nothing's
It's your simplification, you're adding a 4 by 8-foot section attached to what's out there already, and you have the rule of 50% of your front is within it, so we're all okay on that end.
You just saying, you said 4 by 8. Did you
4 by
also say?
10.
It'll be, at the end, it'll be, the piece I'm putting in is a 4 by 10-foot
Okay.
piece, so it'll make it,
4 by 10.
it'll make
Thanks,
it
Matt.
4 feet wider. But
Yeah.
Yep,
each
okay,
section's-
No,
just
he-
as it's written up.
He's correcting me.
Okay, yeah, I
That's
just
good.
wanted to make
Yeah,
sure
no.
that there was a,
All right, do we have a motion to approve?
yeah, motion to approve, IWWC 25-14. George Finlayson, 162 East Wakefield Boulevard, modification to existing permit to enlarge existing dock.
Second? Second. Gary, all those in favor of approval? It's unanimous? Go do it.
Thank you, I will come back next year.
You don't have much room
That's
left.
all you got.
I don't want any more.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Thank you, George. Good night.
The next application is IWWC 25-16. The applicant is Matthew Maloney, 602 East Wakefield Boulevard, remove and reconstruct home. right, you want to introduce yourselves, please?
Good evening. For the record, my name is Robert Colabella. I'm a senior project manager with Haley Ward. I'm here today with my colleague Jason Craven, who is new to the firm. He came to us in April from Ohio, so I'd like you to welcome Jason. He hasn't been to a meeting. He'd like to see what it's like to be at one of these. Here today representing the applicant at 602 East Wakefield Boulevard in their attempt to raise and reconstruct their existing lake house. To that end, I have the site plan up here. No, I don't see it. It's on this monitor anyway. And you have full-size sets, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, we do.
So,
Yes.
so we presented the application.
Hang on, Bob. Is that working, Jeff, or
I don't
not?
know if I'm gonna get that one working, but this one typically works. I'm not sure what's going on.
Give us a minute.
Yeah, just take your time. This went quick today, so. I'll
I don't
try
wanna
be
turn
quick,
around.
too. I don't think.
What? I can't see that either. The angle is bad. Any luck?
That one, it's supposed to be synced, but doesn't appear to be. No.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Bob.
All right, so the Maloneys are looking to, this is one of those cabins that have been in the family forever, and, you know, now this is his generation, and he's actually getting ready to retire and move up here, and he wanted to get rid of the old lake house and install this one. So, to that end, we created this site plan. The regulated activity table is down here in the corner, and I can make that a little bit bigger if we need to. Can you read this? No. No, okay. We'll do it this way. Don't worry, I'll get in there. I'll get us down there. All right. Maybe 200 was a little too big, huh? So, the proposed house and foundation is 1,306 square foot house, replacing about, I think it was like 900 and something square feet. And that's gonna create 130 cubic yards of earthwork. This is gonna be a walkout, so the bottom is slab on grade with no foundation drain, and towards the back, there'll be a little bit of cutting that needs to be done. I'll show you some pictures of that later. There's a proposed deck with steps attached to the house. And the rest of the site needs to be regraded to get them into the building. So, and walkway, steps, and walls, they're gonna build a less than 4 foot tall segmental wall up near the road to replace the existing wall that's there, which I'll also show you pictures of in a minute. So that's the extent of the earthwork. And most of it is towards the road. Back to 100. Maybe let's go back to full screen mode because it'll just be easier. Okay. So here's his. This is an optional walkway. His elderly mother is still with us, and he wants to be able to get her to the house should she decide to come. He hasn't decided if he was gonna put it in yet. However, I included it in the impervious calculations just to, if he does go with it, there's no we don't have to come back for a modification. So right now, it's the stairs going down to a walkway that goes to the front of the building. Down in this corner here is where we're gonna use for the washout, for the dewatering of the foundation. If they happen to encounter water down there, we're gonna dewater to this location. With the straw bales, even though it says HB, we're gonna be using straw. I'll explain that in a second too. And after we're done using that as a pumping settling basin to make sure no silt or anything from the foundation get into the lake, it will become a rain garden, and that's gonna be its location. As you can see, we have filter sock around the entire base of the project, and your 100-foot setback line is this blue line. That's why I made it a different color right here. So basically, 95% of the project is in the regulated area. There will be no seawall work, there'll be no dock work, there's no steps, no work with the stairs down below. Everything is, the red that you see here is the existing house and stairs. Everything you see here in red there's an existing deck here that's gonna be removed. The existing house is in red. This is the extension towards the front, right here, and then they're bringing it over to this side and over and down. And I also have the drawings with us today too, of the architecturals. So the next page is impervious cover, which I know we should take a look at this. So existing is above here, and as you can see below is proposed. Table in the corner shows us going from 4,360 square feet of coverage at 27.2%, reducing it as much as I could to 4,311 square feet at 26.9%. We're removing all of these walkways, the house, this is the only, this wall right here that's staying. It's not going anywhere, as you can see how you have it here. This is where he does a lot of his parking on gravel. As you know, if we park on it, it's impervious. So that's where I was able to tell him, hey, look, you're gonna have to give up some of your parking. You got a garage up near the road. You have this pull-off area that you use for parking too. So he didn't have any problem with that, and he said this is where we'll lose the impervious. So there were 3 comments from town staff. The first comment was the rain garden, which was implemented. And we also took care of the other 2 comments that he had, and they were all minor comments. These are our details, the pumping settling basin. His walkway is not a permeable walkway. He wants one of those concrete walkways with stones embedded in the surface, so that's why I had to find different places to remove. And the LID feature that we're putting in is the rain garden. So this is one step, getting this accepted tonight and coming back next month hopefully for approval. And we do have a public hearing. This is a special exception permit coming up with the Zoning Board of Appeals. In your application, I don't know if it made it to the wetlands application, but it should have, like every one of my projects, I always ask my clients to talk to their neighbors, show them the plans, and ask them if they have any problems with it. He contacted both neighbors on both sides. They both produced letters. They're in the packets, I thought. If they're not, I know they're in the ZBA packets. And if not, here's endorsement 1 from the Attorney Flaherty, who's on, looking at the lake. He's on the left-hand side, and then the other letter is from Cheryl Burns, and she's on the opposite side, on the right-hand side. So both of them said they reviewed. Well, normally I just tell them, ask your neighbors to write something, and then both neighbors said, well, can you give us a letter and we'll sign it if we agree with the plans. So that's what they did, and his contractor actually wrote this letter up, and both Cheryl Burns and the Flahertys and Colleen Burke, who live on the opposite side, both of them didn't have any problems with the project. If they did, they'd let us know.
Could you go back to the picture showing the impervious surface of that
Absolutely.
parking area?
I have it color-coded. If you look up in the chart up here,
Yeah, I see it.
right, so
Well,
you can...
I can't see it, that's why I'm asking.
Ah, here we go. Let's do this.
No,
All right,
okay.
so the green is asphalt and gravel parking. Part of the neighbor's parking, the driveway is actually encroaching on this property, so it is impervious, so we have to include it. The house garage and the deck is this purple that you see here, and walk steps, concrete, and pads is everything you see in gray. These steps are open, so I didn't consider them impervious, and that's existing, so I mean, it's not in their favor for me not to consider them impervious, but we had to do that. The wooden deck also has grass underneath it, per the way we review things, that's not impervious either, so that couldn't include that in the existing impervious.
So if I'm, just scroll
Yeah.
back to where you are.
Yeah, here,
And on the top left where you have totals,
yes,
you go from 4360 to 4313, which is the difference.
4311, yeah.
4311, a difference of 40 feet, give or take.
Yeah, it goes from 27.2% down to 26.9.
Right.
In other words,
And-
less non-conforming.
It looks like you're taking away half the impervious driveway, but you're taking up the impervious surface elsewhere on the project.
Yes, all these walkways and paths and stuff are coming out and being replaced with this stairs, walkway and wall. So, well, I also considered this area, so he's under, that's pea stone under the deck. So, this is proposed. You can see we're removing it here, removing all these walkways that were, actually, they would be in this area
So
over
you're
here.
just shifting the impervious surfaces to elsewhere, basically.
Removing some,
Yeah.
actually a pretty big portion of it here, and actually taking these, all of this walkways and reducing it down to just, actually, you know, this is only an optional walkway right here. It's not gonna get built now, or maybe never, but, so it's probably only gonna be this walkway and the stairs right now to replace all of this. And then, if you would like, I could show you what that looks like now. Take you for a walk around the property. So this is the wall that they're trying to replace up front. As you can see, its condition isn't the best. Let's see, is this the one? Ah, here we go. All right, so this is the wood. So this is the front of the road. They have this parking area. The stairs are gonna be right here coming down. This wall's gonna get fixed up by the road. There's the house below. There's all these steps are coming out, all this is coming out. All the way down, that's coming out. That's staying. Here's where he parks his boat and other vehicles at times. Most of the time he uses the road up here, but he still parks here. When we sat with Jeremy DeCarly and Jeff, they're the ones they decided that this was impervious and we had to consider it impervious. That wall is staying. This deck is gonna be gone. This stone wall, this is the one wall I said that's gonna stay.
Where's the piece that showed the neighbor's property on his property? The neighbor's.
Right, here it is right here. You could just see the asphalt right here, right in this little corner. Let's see if I got a better picture of that for you.
Oh, I see.
What's that?
No, I see what he's talking about right now.
Right here. Of course, I don't have a better picture, right? So, back up one. This is where the rain garden is going to be, in this corner here. The level of the lake is too high to even consider underground detention. So here's, you can see there's no reason for him to do anything with this seawall. We have some leakage underneath this porch here, but that dried up pretty quick. Here's the rest of that path that's impervious coming down to the lake. So as you get around,
Somebody's houses went up so.
as you get around this building, and here's the part. So, when he just, when he took me into the building, and I'll show you this in a minute, you can almost see it back here, I think it's in a later photo, but when he took me into the building and you walked into the first room and you took a step into the next room, there was a 1-foot depression in the floor. And so you can see so here it is, this is one of the reasons, this whole footing, you could see it rotated, and the 6x6 that was holding up, you could see the difference in the floor joist dropping in this area, and you could tell that, you know, it's time for this house to get a redo. These are all crooked, there's really this is their grinder pump, and they use it, you know, they're here in the summer. What else? This is the patio outside the door, that's also part of the impervious. That's a better view. So here's the portion that comes down here, and his driveway comes right over here, it comes right onto his property in that corner. Oh, here's a better view of why he has to fix this wall up here, because it's made out of utility poles that aren't in very good shape.
Will the
And here's the
drive,
rest of the wall, and the other reason, actually, this wall is being held up by a pin right here right now. So there's a lot of repairs that need to happen here before something does happen and we have a problem. I'll go back to the drawings, and if you have any questions. Site plan, preferably, I'm assuming.
you're gonna make the adjustment with the hay bales and the...
Yes, it's already made.
Oh, okay.
All 3 of those notes were made, so AutoCAD has a great thing, and I don't know if you've got.
Explain one of the staff comments was the stormwater drain from the roofs.
Yes,
I don't-
as you can see, on the original plan, there wasn't a rain garden in this corner. All I called out there was a constructed dewatering basement. And Jeremy brought up, you know, where are you gonna be, you know, putting the roof water? And I said, well, I know a good spot, because we're already gonna have a little square there ready to go. So he has to hog it out, put in the mulch, the topsoil, create a real rain garden. And to that end, not only did I design the rain garden, but I calculated its volumes on.
That's the one adjacent to the lake wall.
Right, and correct, and well, close to the lake wall. So I calculated the required volume, which was 141.9 cubic feet. This rain garden will provide 156 cubic feet. There's a planting list
What does
here
those
to the
letters
left.
stand for?
And there's a planting list here to the left. It doesn't really need to be, first of all, it's not a very big house, 1,306 square
Right.
feet.
All right, and the last comment from staff was, are any LID improvements proposed?
There is now. You got a rain garden.
All right, question, do we need a town representative engineer to go over this proposal?
Your call, I don't, yeah, it's pretty.
We're good on this?
Yeah.
A public hearing, we'll take the letters on face value
Well, they're having one on, anyways, they're having one for
for
the.
ZBA.
they have to.
Yeah, but we're not having one.
Do we need to?
No, I'm just, you know.
I've been trying to be very diligent about making sure all my applicants at least speak to their neighbors, tell them what they're doing. And in most cases, I would love for them to show them the plans and say, this is what I'm doing. Do you approve, do you not? And I've even had a couple of neighbors say, hey, could you make a couple of corrections here? And I've done it, and then they said, okay, I'll write the letter now. So
There you go.
I think it's a very wise thing for people to start doing that up the lake, because we know how it can get in this room when you don't do that.
Anything else, guys?
No, I have a question.
Go ahead.
You know who's gonna have. Why no footing drains?
It's slab on grade for most of it.
So you're still gonna have frost walls, though, right?
Yeah, around the back, it'll be all we go into the rain garden. It'll be enough,
Okay.
there's enough volume there to handle any of it. There's, you know, they're up at, this is such a steep grade.
I know, I was gonna
Yeah,
stop
it's
right
gonna,
today.
it's gonna be very difficult for the upper portion, which it's only about across the front wall, maybe 2 feet down the side.
Right,
That he
okay.
would need something. And in that instance, it may not even see any water, because I don't think he's gonna be, he could be deep enough, but I don't think he has like 4 feet already underneath there, you know, I could almost fit under there, I hate to say that. He has like 4 feet there now, going back, so he's not really cutting back in very much. And if he does encounter water and he has to put in a footing drain, it'll get discharged to the roof leader and tied into the rain garden.
Rain garden, right.
And you know what I could do for the next meeting? I will show them.
If you don't think it's necessary.
Oh, no,
It's not
I
code or
think-
anything, no, it's not. it's
I
not-
think this, I could call him, I could put him on the plan and show the discharge and call it as optional, if required.
I just asking the question, why?
Yeah, well, I just
would've
didn't
thought
think
you
there was
put it in.
enough, and I really don't think that, you're gonna encounter groundwater up, that high up on the hill, but
Okay.
if we do, I still would rather cover my bases, and, because you're only accepting the application now, I can make that one, I mean, it's a revision that's
You guys
minor,
know more
and the
about-
contractor doesn't have any problem doing the work.
What's the condition of the street topography in front of that house in terms of water running down the street? Are there any catch basins there? Or will they slope, will the water from the streets just wash into the property?
I would think something, that's something to do with us.
He's got a lip that he installed, it goes all the way across it.
That's a lip,
Yeah, it's got a little mount to it.
and
Can't really
that,
kinda see it there, but.
and that keeps the water running
Well, that's
past.
the whole reason it was put in.
Yeah, catch a lot.
And it just moves the water further down the road.
You know, I just,
Yeah, no, I'm just showing, you asked, and I wanted to make sure that you saw it. And you get to the end here, and the neighbor did that earlier.
This is right across from you, right, Matt?
Yes.
The neighbor did that earlier, he's got a little bit going, so I think,
Where's the next catch basin down the hill?
Oh, there's none on that side. May,
All the way down by Ryan's house?
it's on the, there's no catch basins on that side. The only ones are to the, where there's one down by Carl's right there where you're,
right about here.
yeah, and it doesn't even work. The water just flows right over it. And then it goes down by Ryan's house
And it just
down.
goes into the lake right off the road?
well, it
There
runs
is
onto
a
the
true
property.
catch basin in front of 545 East Wakefield, and it just goes straight across.
You know, Rob, myself, I'd like to see where you show the footing drains, and the only reason I say that is, it's a walkout basement, right?
Yeah.
You're going into the ground, correct?
Absolutely, it's gonna be deep in the back.
It's gonna be deep in the back, and me
Yeah.
personally, if I was building a house, and I don't know if the building inspector's
No.
gonna say, I want footing drains on that particular wall,
I want them there.
you know,
This
you're gonna
is
be coming
something
back
that
saying,
came-
now I have footing drains.
It was something that came from the contractor, and he
Right.
wanted to see if there was gonna be groundwater, I said, look,
How do you
I
know
don't
from
think
one year
there's
to the
gonna be,
next?
but why not? And so
Let's
I
just do
don't,
it.
I don't have any problem putting
Good,
them on.
thank you.
How deep do you envision the footings being in the backside of it, Rob? I mean, 4 feet, 6 feet?
6 feet anyway.
6 feet plus or minus, there's gonna be a reveal up there, so.
Yeah, there'll be something coming down.
No, I want, hey, look, this is perfect, because
Yeah.
putting the footing drains on the plan is just as easy
Yeah, I
as
mean,
not.
it gets us off, where you're
And-
not coming back to
And
us.
you know what, it's a
I
good,
always, the contractors don't like to hear this, but I always say paper doesn't refuse ink, so.
well, it's a good learning model for your associate. All right, any other comments? Jeff, you good?
Yes.
All right, do we have a motion to accept?
All right, let's do this. Motion to accept IWWC 25-16, Matthew Maloney, 602 East Wakefield Boulevard, remove and reconstruct home.
Second.
All those in favor of acceptance?
Thank you.
Unanimous? Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Glad I wasn't as winded as my usual spiel. Yeah, so that was the only revision, well, I already handled Jeremy's, right?
Yeah.
So that was the only revision the committee needs? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night.
Have a good night.
Give me a second to get somewhere. I don't see any more new business, am I correct, Jeff?
You are correct.
Okay, so the next item would be agent determination, IWWC 25-11, and the applicant is Martin Connor, 102 Riverton Road, and construct concrete storage bays.
That should be 103 Riverton Road.
103, 102 or 103?
It should be 103. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a typo.
Thank you.
Okay, so, yeah, this go ahead.
That's the one we got last month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The packet, yep.
yep.
so, anything different about it, or you?
No, nothing different. It's also before planning and zoning, and they had very similar comment to our staff comment that the extreme end of the storage bay as shown is on a pretty decent slope. So they've already verbally told us that they're gonna reconfigure that, get it off there, so there's no issues with that. We expect to have that revised plan for P and Z on Monday. Unfortunately, we don't have it for you tonight, but even without that, we're prepared to ask for a determination on this project.
Even without it being in front of us tonight?
Right,
Okay,
because
so
we
you-
know we're going to force that to happen anyhow, but if
Do we want
you
to
see
wait?
different, that's up to you.
Or do we want to wait to give you approval, or do we want to?
I think we did, didn't we?
Yeah, I thought we
did.
Good?
I thought we did too.
We did.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
it's
All
fine.
right,
We already gave that.
all right.
Okay, so this should have been stricken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been-
Yeah.
I thought that was
Too
pretty
zealous.
Sure, I
All right,
was
is there a
going through that,
motion
yeah.
to give Jeff the right to approve this action?
I'll make a motion.
Go ahead.
Give Jeff the right to approve what we did last week.
I second
All
that.
right, Gary, all those in favor of agent determination approval? All right, thank you. The next one is IWWC 25-11, and the applicant is Kathleen Connor, and it's 51 East Lake Street to replace existing shed in upper review area. That's again-
Correct. This is a property that was brought to my attention before the last wetlands meeting. They were doing some work in the yard based on a tree that came down. The tree also required the shed to be removed, and they want to put a new shed back in the same location. We have no concerns with it, but it needed to have an application because it's within the review area.
Just a correction for the minutes, I think it's 2515, that's 2511. You read it as 2511.
Thank you, correction, 2511, 15, stand corrected. And it's, the location is 51 East Lake Street. There are,
I don't,
go ahead.
is this a situation where maybe we should make her come into compliance? I mean, it's going from 240, I think the allowable shed size is 200. I don't know, well, just throw it out there.
That's a zoning issue, and it's a replacement of a pre-existing, so there's no way to force it.
Yeah, they're allowed to rebuild what they have. Just like if a tree fell on your house and it was encroaching,
Okay.
you know, so.
Plus, we have no jurisdiction over that.
Okay,
As long as they're not enlarging it.
Right.
okay. All right, throw it out.
Do we have a motion to allow Jeff to move ahead with an agent determination?
Make a motion, IWWC 2515, Catherine Coiner to replace an existing shed that was destroyed by a tree falling on it, and have it handled by an agent determination.
Second. All those in favor? It's unanimous. All right, Jeff, thank you.
Thank you. As of right determinations, as I mentioned at the outset, this will be a new section on the agenda. We're getting maybe more of these in the office, which I think is a good thing. People are actually coming to ask rather than just doing things. So we just wanted to sort of present you with a list of those when they do come in. So the first one, I'm sorry, was there a question? Oh, okay. First one is 210 West Wakefield Boulevard. The project is reconstruction of a deck on existing piers. There's not going to be any ground disturbance, and the deck will be the same size as existing.
Just for the, knowledge of the commission, I think being this is a new part of our agenda, you have to look at staff comments to see what it entails. If you look at the agenda, there's no information on the agenda.
Right, in the-
But staff comments contain all of the information.
Right.
Okay.
And since there's no application required, you don't get drawings and all that kind of stuff.
So Catherine Coiner actually could have gone under this section.
No, because it's in the review, wait, what was the thinking on that?
As
As
of
long as
right
she's
now.
not going in the ground or
Yeah.
digging any dirt, yeah, she can, yeah.
Just trying to clarify it myself.
You know what?
Think about it.
I'll look a little deeper into that to see, I mean, the more we can move
Yeah.
off the plate.
Okay, go ahead. Let's do 210.
In any event, reconstruction of a deck on existing piers, no disturbance.
It's outside of the review area. It's outside of our 100-foot
No.
review
No,
area.
no, this is in the review
These are
area.
within.
Yeah. But there's zero disturbance,
Right.
nothing going on in the water.
Or no, yeah.
Now, because this is new to us, do we have a vote on this, or this is just informational?
Just bring it to your attention. The idea with this is, you know, as you guys know, oftentimes you'll see something or a neighbor will see something and bring to your attention. So this is maybe to head that off, or you can say, oh, I remember that we talked about that a little and, you know, it was already brought to our attention, but didn't require an
We had a
application.
meeting one time where we decided to move into this agent determination.
Well, this is different than agent determination. This is almost, there's no action needed on anybody's part, basically.
Right. If you guys don't want this information, we-
No, I think it's good to have. I brought something to Jeff's attention,
Let's talk about it.
and this is the way Jeff handled it,
No,
what I
it's
brought
fine.
to his
It's fine.
attention. So it's just,
Information.
you know, it saves a phone call and an answer that the six of us maybe.
that's the idea.
Go ahead, go to the second one, Jeff.
All right, 606 West Wakefield, replacement of wood steps leading to the waterfront. Again, no ground disturbance. It's replacing what's there because the wood is rotted, simply because it's within the review area, which is why we're talking about it. And the steps will be built to code. So,
I have one question though.
Yeah.
With these as-of-right determinations, do you visit them after they say they've completed the project to see if what they said and asked for and what you agreed to give them is consistent with what they did?
I certainly could. I probably haven't visited all of them, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But I could attempt to put it in my rounds.
Okay, good. I mean, sometimes you're just driving by the house
Yeah.
almost. All right, so that's something to consider.
Okay.
I'd like you to consider it. Okay, good, thank you. And 446 East Wakefield?
Result of a tree which uprooted during a recent storm. The tree is going to be removed. The hole is going to be backfilled, soil and seeded. No machinery and nothing in the water.
Okay.
So that's it for. I'm sorry, we added one.
Will they need any erosion protection if they're putting new topsoil down, or?
You know, I think the grade is below the wall, but we could certainly ask for it. I'm
You
sure.
know, as long as you check that out.
Yeah.
That's the only thing concerned, they're filling a hole, a big hole with topsoil, and they
Yeah.
run into the lake.
Good point. And the last one, which didn't make it to your agenda, but we voted to add it earlier in the evening. This was a visit to the site just today, 628 East Wakefield. It's basically a landscaping job. They've already cut down some shrubs. They're going to be removing those roots, laying some sod, some additional planting and mulch. And again, this is a result of this contractor is the same one working on Patrick Hussey's project on Lake Drive. And I had visited him a few times. So he decided, you know, let me give him a call and talk about this next project just in case. So I think it's, you know, moving in a good direction.
Yeah, good. All right, thank you.
All right.
Violations?
On to violations, 308 East Wakefield. You should have received Tom Grimaldi's report, the independent engineer. I am happy to report that Mr. Sliney has completed his work before the deadline. All work has been reviewed by Grimaldi and approved. And I think we're at the end of the road for that one.
And I think the action that we took as a committee, where we put a deadline on this project because it was going on for probably 2 or 3 years, you know, between I can't get an engineer, he's not available, somebody else is not available, and we sort of drew a line
Yep.
in the sand and said, you know, you had June 1st, this year. If you don't do it, you're back in court, so to speak.
Right.
All right, good. All right, so-
Next is 139 West Wakefield Boulevard. You should have Attorney Nelligan's memo in your packets. And that's all I have to say about that. I'm also happy to report that the docks have not gone back in the water yet this year. No boats have arrived on site, and the for sale by owner sign is still erected.
Okay, so we may have accomplished what we wanted to.
Perhaps.
Okay,
They're gonna go to court. They're actually gonna go to court.
well, we don't know. She sells, it's all over.
Well, they got 2 of the 3 leaseholders or stakeholders that have answered.
Well, whatever. All right, so we're gonna hold on to this Kevin Nelligan letter, because this is gonna be continued.
Yes, yeah, we're not done with that one yet. And lastly, we added one warning to the agenda, 240 Kingsbury, which is the site of a new house build. I did a visit to the property. I saw a stockpile with no silt fencing, and the bulk of the silt fencing on the site was in a state of disrepair. I called the applicant right away, and he said, "Oh, well, you must have gone right out there because we only did that work yesterday, and the new pile's there." In any event, he has responded, and all the silt fencing will either be replaced or re-erected. New silt fencing will be put around the new stockpile, and work will continue.
Dadio?
Yes.
Did you give him a deadline on that?
Well, I told him ASAP, his deadline, and I had 3 or 4 emails from him, so I assume
Okay.
he's telling me it's done, but I didn't get a chance to,
I know other towns tell you, you got 24 hours, 48 hours,
yeah.
Are those-
no excuses.
Those,
Get it done.
those dumpsters that were in there, they were all removed, or they're still there?
Well, there were shipping containers and then dumpsters. There was at least one dumpster still on site that was nearly full. He relayed to me that he had a few other items he was gonna put in there, and then that will be removed. So it's winding its way in the right direction. This was all as a result of a blight complaint, actually, about the state of the property, so.
Right. And their neighbor.
Yeah,
All
Okay,
the neighbors that agreed.
agreed, didn't agree, yeah. Okay.
all right, communications?
Communications, you have in your packet, copy of the application for use of pesticides in state waters at Highland Lake, done by All Habitat Services. And then left on your desks, if I remember correctly, was late to the party and didn't make it to the agenda. Same application for Winchester Lake by the Pond and Lake Connection. This is basically a receive and place on file, but
I just, in looking at, going back to the Park Pond one,
yes,
it says there's a boat launch there?
at Park Pond?
Correct.
There is?
As soon as you turn into Blue Street, isn't it?
Oh, okay, I didn't know, that's
Yeah,
what,
there is
okay.
a small little boat launch there.
Yeah.
I haven't
Right up
spent
at
enough time
260.
at Park Pond.
Neither have I, but
Turn
that's,
into Blue Street, right?
Yep.
okay, do I need to continue this in my folder?
No, no action, it's just for reference.
Thank you. And there was something B25-399 in our package. Ben Lorenzo at 132 Forest Avenue.
I see. This is a building permit.
Again, it was in my,
Yeah,
okay.
it must have got mixed
All right,
in on the
okay.
copier. Did everyone get that?
No,
I didn't.
That was just for you, Steve.
Oh, thanks a lot.
just to throw a monkey.
Report from the Department of Public Works, Jeff, anything?
No,
No, okay.
no, I'm,
I think
Slipping mine.
from what I've seen, as a result of a month ago, when a lot of trees went down, there was a lot of debris on the road. So there was a lot of cleanup that I saw taking place. I still want us to stay on top of the sewer, vacuuming out the sewers and stuff like that.
I saw him working across from me a week ago.
Yeah, last week they were working up there,
Yeah.
yes, because they did two
making a
in
racket.
front of my house.
Yeah.
So, I think it's ongoing.
All right, as long as it's
That's just
ongoing,
from personal knowledge.
Yeah. We do not have a liaison to the Highland Lake Watershed Association. And I think that I'd like, again, for somebody to consider becoming that liaison, because it's just another avenue of sort of tying things together and no surprises. So think about it, and if anybody would like to volunteer, that's an opening. And I'd like to welcome from the selectman who's in attendance tonight. You want to say something? Introduce yourself.
The missing pizza. Thank you guys for inviting me here tonight. The town manager called me and said I need to make a presence. Just so you know, I may not attend the meetings, but I do watch your meetings. Not everyone, but I do watch them. I was on Wetlands in New Hartford for 9 years. I was vice chair for 2. I was also on planning and zoning, and I'm a certified zoning officer. So this stuff kind of weirdly interests me, so I kind of pay attention as we go. And I mean, I'm glad that Winchester is so lucky to have 2 of the most important boards with very much talent on both boards, meaning planning and zoning and wetlands. You guys are very talented. You know, it's good to have people that know what they're doing on these boards, because it's really important for economic development for the town, and that we do things fairly and consistent. The only suggestion that I would like to bring up, and it's nothing to point against you, Jeff, but I was on Wetlands for 9 years, and these wetlands can be long meetings, sometimes until real late at night. And zoning is also can be like that, but George is pretty good, or was pretty good at shutting it down at 9 o'clock because he wanted to watch the UConn game. If the staff needs to pay more attention to the applications, like I just saw one tonight, you want to make sure that these applications, they know what they need before they come here. They need to be complete. If there needs to be a survey or a map of a breakdown of a wall, you know, that should be, before that person even comes here, that should be done, because all that does is put more time on our commission members who are here for free and volunteering their time. You know, we need to like streamline it a little bit better. And I've noticed that on zoning, and when I was in Wetlands in New Hartford, same thing. It does happen. Understand you can't control all of them, but you know, people need to be prepared. You can't make decisions off of napkins and small maps. It's just, you can't. I mean, the older I get, I can't even see them now. So, you know, that's only my suggestion to you guys, to help you guys.
That's something that we've been working our way through for a while. And, you know, I think on the flip side of it is, we know the town is short-staffed with personnel. So we're sort of like keeping that in mind. The bottom line is, if an application that comes before us is incomplete or lacks specificity, all that does is hurt the applicant's process of getting approval sooner rather than later. And, you know, we're not adverse to saying, you know what, we'll accept your application, come back next month with everything else we want, and we'll start from there. So we're good. But again, thank you very much. And I do want to impress upon you, we still have 2 vacancies. I don't know.
We're working on that. We do have an application before us that will be voted on at the next meeting. And we do push for you, but we do also want to make sure it's a great fit for your board.
We do. Good, appreciate that.
Troy, where are we with the docking and mooring ordinance?
That has not been brought before us yet.
Where are we, Jeff?
We plan to bring that to the Board of Selectmen at the 2nd July meeting. The date escapes me, maybe the 21st.
I just want to stay on top of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't spend months on it, we spent a little bit of time
Do we
on
have to
it.
be there for that meeting? Or should we be there for that meeting?
You're more than welcome to come. Yeah, if there's any questions directly to you, that'd be fine. We'll also be bringing to the board's attention at that meeting, not just for wetlands, but all land use applications, possible changes to the fee structure based on costs to advertise in the newspaper. We're finding ourselves upside down on some of these applications and just in an effort to keep the town whole in that regard. Some increases may be necessary, so we'll be bringing that to the selectmen as well.
Okay. Anybody else with any comments, concerns?
This secretary's been vacant for a while. If you guys want, I'll take that duty.
Oh.
Why? I don't know, because Russ isn't around.
Is that in the minutes, Jeff?
It will be.
You know, if you're not here, then who's gonna run the meeting? Not that I want to, I don't.
Well, we'll give you a test next month. I'm not.
It'll be in the minutes.
Come on.
All right, you know what, I think there's a formality that we have to go through, and we'll look at the language of the formality, and we'll make it work. We'll make it work.
Yeah, we might need to hold an election.
You have to put it on the agenda.
Could I withdraw that?
And I just want to let you guys know, I have a town email, and some of you know my personal phone number. If you ever need anything or any questions about anything from the Board of Selectmen, feel free to reach out to me. If there's something important you want me to do, or, help you in any way, I can, just let me know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Troy, thanks.
All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Gary, second, Jeff. All those in favor? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's 8:15,
Nice work.
and we're done.
Yeah, make it up, Steve.
I gotta quit some of my, things, so I don't have to go to a meeting every single night. Good thing I'm single, or I would have been divorced anyway. Have a good night, guys. Go married.
That squeaky wheel worked.